If Republicans want to make a positive difference to the health of the nation, they'd better start to understand the flaws of the Federal Reserve. Hello, I'm Steve Forbes, and this is What's Ahead, where you get the insights you need to better navigate these turbulent times. Now that Republicans have finally organized the House of Representatives, they should set up a group to examine and get a real grasp of the Federal Reserve. Otherwise, if the GOP wins the White House and Senate in 2024, it could be upended by grievous central bank errors and not know what hit it. The Fed is plagued with a deep misunderstanding of the economy and money. It is beholden to a theory called the Phillips curve. Phillips posited that there is a trade-off between inflation and unemployment. If you want less inflation, you must have more unemployment and vice versa. Now, real-world experience has shown the curve to be nonsense. In the 1980s, for instance, both U.S. unemployment and inflation fell. Nonetheless, the Phillips curve remains wholly red at the Fed. That's why that institution is deliberately slowing the economy down. The Federal Reserve imagines prosperity causes inflation. It is utterly wrong. The definition of monetary inflation is lessening the value of a currency, in this case the dollar, usually by creating too many of them. Republicans and everyone else must grasp this truth. If the dollar is stable in value and the economy is booming, the Federal Reserve should just chill out and leave things alone. There is no such phenomenon as an economy overheating. Free markets are not perfect because people aren't perfect, but people in free markets will quickly and effectively deal with any imbalances. Most economic crises originate with government errors. The Fed and the Treasury Department repeatedly undermined the dollar's value in the 1970s, giving us a terrible decade of rising prices. The same mistakes were repeated in the early 2000s, leading to the spectacular housing collapse and the Great Recession of 2008-2009. It was the Federal Reserve and other central banks that then suppressed interest rates, leading to massive government indebtedness. Politicians loved the free money. So did countless companies that survived and grew on costless capital despite operating losses. Our central bank and most economists believe the economy is like a machine that can grow at a steady pace. In the real world, breakthroughs and overexpansions are unpredictable. The notion that a handful of people in Washington can steer an economy by manipulating interest rates, bank reserves, and financial regulations is preposterous. Yet that's what our central bank tries to do. By the way, the GOP should attack the whole notion of the Fed fixing interest rates, which distorts money markets the way rent controls distort real estate markets. Let rates be set by borrowers and lenders. Republicans should also examine how the dollar's value was successfully stabilized in the past, which will bring them to the great unmentionable subject, gold. The Fed should only intervene in the economy when the financial system may freeze up because of a panic or pandemic, and then only for a short time. I'm Steve Forbes. Thanks for listening. Do send in your comments and suggestions. I look forward to being with you soon again.